Thank you so much. Great to see everybody. Great to connect with some new faces in the room. Kudos to the DTC Experts team for throwing a great event. This is gorgeous. Third time sponsoring this event, and it's always such a great turnout. So thanks for hanging around and talking to us. My name is Rohan. I've been at Gorgeous for just under 4 years now. We are a help desk for e-commerce brands, particularly in the Shopify ecosystem. We aggregate all of your different channels into one platform, and we build in a ton of automation efficiencies, and we're very multi-product now, working with about 15,000 brands. Bryant over here with BuddyLove is one of our incredible customers, and the reason that Gorgeous and myself love to do events like this is because we get to interact with a ton of cool partners, brands in the space, and work with some incredible customers. And so we're going to be talking to Bryant a lot about his customer management and his brand as well too. So I'll go ahead and let Bryant introduce himself.
Hey, I'm Bryant. Like you said, I am the CEO of BuddyLove, which is a new role for me. I've been with the company for about 4 weeks. So just getting started. Before that, I was the CMO at Caden Lane, and before that, CMO at a company called The Adventure Challenge. So I'm a CMO turned CEO. And yeah, do you want to jump in or do you want me to?
Let's jump in. The first question I was going to hit you with around your customers is, which channels are you using for customer support today? Why do you find that it's important to enable your customers to get in touch with you as a brand in multiple different ways? And what do you find to be the most successful?
Yeah, so every company I've worked at has used Gorgeous. So I'm familiar with the product. And we have always treated customer service more as a crossover channel to marketing. Everyone's been talking about profitability today. I think the opportunity for customer service is to reduce return rate and to cross-sell. So I've done a few interesting things with some different brands. At Caden Lane, our return rate was surprisingly low. It was below 2%. Which they're a DTC baby apparel company. So in the apparel space, having a return rate that's lower than 2% is pretty unique. And one of the ways that we did that is we identified the products that had, like the SKUs and categories that had the lowest return rate, and then our customer service team would try to push those and cross-sell those. For Caden Lane, that was a lot of personalized products. I don't know if anyone's familiar with that brand, but they sell like baby swaddles and baby outfits, and the personalized product by nature of what it is, once you print a child's name on a swaddle blanket, you just can't send it back unless we messed up. Like if we printed Bob and the child's name is Rachel or something, like we'd replace it. Otherwise, the whole customer experience was very specific. Like, are you sure this is the name? One more chance. Like, make sure once we print it, you can't send it back. So all of our flows and our customer service team was oriented around pushing that specific product SKU. It also had higher LTV for repeat, purchase rates as well. And then the customer service team really acted more like a personal shopper than just like, we all know this, but I'll say it anyway. Customer service can't just be, hey, where's my order, or something that AI is going to replace anyway. So at BuddyLove, at Caden Lane, and I do a little bit of consulting, so all the brands that I consult with, they've really built like a personal shopper or high experiential experience. Like one example of that is I work with a brand called Dr. Killigan's. They sell like clean and non-toxic pest control. So like if you want to kill spiders, but gently, you'd use them. Their customer service team are pest experts. So people write in and say, hey, I have ants or spiders or roaches or whatever it is. What should I buy? And then they're looking at the customer's zip code, or like in this region, there's moths during spring. We recommend the cedarwood product or whatever it is. But they really become more like personal shoppers than just like talking to angry customers about shipping or tracking.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and what we talked about last week when you and I had a quick chat was kind of breaking out CX into different categories, right? CX for brand, CX for data, CX for marketing. So you really just touched on that brand piece. And Talk about some of the automations or efficiencies that you as a brand have put into place to be able to allow your team to be very customer-centric, concierge type like support, and be able to kind of form those personal relationships with your customers.
Yeah. Our flows, both at BuddyLove and formerly at Kate and Lane, would ask as many questions as possible to try to get to know the customer so that we knew who we were talking to. So at Kate and Lane, that would sound like, who are you shopping for? Are you shopping for yourself or somebody else? About 20% of their customers were shopping for a baby shower. At BuddyLove, it sounds like, are you shopping for an event like a bridal shower, or Mother's Day, or a tailgate party? At Kate and Lane, we would ask questions like, how many kids are you in a household? Or are you having a boy or a girl? Or what's your due date even? And we'd actually create flows that would be able to feed over into Klaviyo and eventually a CDP so that we could personalize our marketing, post-chat to tailor somebody who, practically speaking, if you have 2 boys at home and you're pregnant with, your third and you're expecting in October, we're not going to send you an email flow that's trying to upsell you on pajamas for girls for a 7-year-old. So we tried to get as granular and as specific as possible so that both the customer would feel known, but then also so that we could do better customer support. And at BuddyLove, we actually give our customer experience team affiliate links, and we give them commissions on upsells. So if somebody comes into a funnel and asks questions and engages, and they're able to upsell them on a dress or something for an event, then we have essentially turned our CX team into a sales team as well, which I find, if you can align the incentives between the brand and the output, then it's a win-win.
No, definitely. You dug into the personalization of it all and making sure you're understanding who you're talking to so that you can provide them with the right products in whatever means possible. Why is that personalization so important to retaining customers long time and having them be loyal to your brand over maybe some competitors that you have in the space?
Yeah, for sure. I think, for starters, customers like to feel known. I've run a lot of A/B tests on even email pop-ups, and I found that the pop-ups that have the highest conversion rate are mini quizzes or surveys where you ask people, right now, if you go to buddylove.com, we'll ask you a few questions, essentially, what are you shopping for? The same with Kate and Lane. So I found that if you ask people, are you having a boy or a girl? Are you shopping for yourself or someone else? And just a few questions, they're more likely to, in this case, sign up for email because their assumption is they're not going to get irrelevant, spammy emails that have nothing to do with them. The same applies to customer service, or if you can build a relationship with your customer where they feel like you understand them and you're interacting with them in a way that's relevant, they're more likely to engage. So we actually give our customer service team at BuddyLove access to a CDP and our SMS platform, and they'll reach out to customers where there's a flow. We'll have a product launch, which we do weekly, that says, hey, here's our Valentine's Day drop. We'll watch to see which customers engage with that. And then if someone is a VIP customer, meaning they've shopped in the last 365 days, but they have not engaged in the last 30 days, then our customer service team, when they have free time, obviously, they can reach out using their affiliate link set up and say, hey, Suzanne, we just dropped this product. Did you see it? This is Aria from BuddyLove. This comes in your size. Would you like me to send you some photos so you can take a look? And they're actually creating a personal shopping experience through a digital environment that we're trying to mirror the experience you would have in store if you were to go in and just shop for a dress, in person.
Absolutely. And you've talked about the affiliate links a couple of times and maybe taking the idea of customer support as a fixed cost and turning it into a little bit more of a sales engine, and then maybe rewarding your customer support reps for doing so. How does that get your team going a lot more to be able to incentivize those kinds of interactions with customers?
It makes the job a lot more exciting. Customer service can be a high turnover department, and I think historically it's been treated like a cost center. So turning it into a commission-based incentive has head of customer service has been with us for 5 years. So we've aligned the incentives between our team and the outcome we're trying to produce for the company. Our customer service team, like I'm sure most of us, they also interact in social comments, and they're able to use that affiliate link if they want to. Like if they're in Facebook or a group or community pages, they can make suggestions and link back to the website using their personal affiliate, which allows us to have fun internally and gamify it a little bit and have competitions like, hey, this is the new drop. Whoever can generate the most sales for it, we'll give you some sort of incentive or prize, even if it's just like a $100 gift card to Starbucks or something. Like, it's still fun, and it's something that most people in customer experience aren't used to experiencing.
No, absolutely. And it also helps you to inform future strategies as well, to understand, maybe who's performing the best, through which channels are performing the best, and how you want to take things in the future. You mentioned a couple of different channels, SMS particularly. Talk about the ecosystem as a whole and why it's so important to use apps in, particularly for your case, the Shopify ecosystem that works so seamlessly together, and how that makes a difference for your customer support team and your customers as a result.
Yeah, that's a good question. So everything is an ecosystem in Shopify, and a lot of efficiencies are found when you can reduce friction. So an example of that is we use OneText for our SMS platform, which is a text-to-buy platform that you can check out in text message. We found that when we switched our abandoned cart flows to OneText, it doubled the revenue that flow was creating, just because before we'd have to send a text that says, hey, click this link, go back to the website and buy, and now the text says, reply yes, and you can automatically check out without going back to the website. If you can introduce those types of efficiencies across your whole stack, then it's just like, obviously, it's better. Customers are busy. They don't really care about our brands. I mean, at least not as much as we do. They care about the dress or getting a gift for a baby shower or buying pans or whatever, a t-shirt or something. But they are their objective, not our company. So anytime you can reduce friction and increase that emotional connection, just to make it easier for a customer to do something, and more relevant. Like, the reason I go back to personalization is this applies to all of our companies. Like, if you're selling t-shirts and you're asking questions like, where do you live? What are you shopping for? And you realize somebody is chatting from, I don't know, Colorado, which I was there last month, it was like -16. I'm not gonna recommend a t-shirt, a short sleeve t-shirt. Maybe I'll recommend like a waffle knit Henley or something. And if the CX agent can respond with, hey, looks like you're chatting from Colorado, it's cold there, here's our best-selling SKUs for people that are, that live in cold climates. By the way, we have a discount today. Would you like me to apply it to your cart? Maybe even build the cart and just introduce an easy, frictionless, seamless experience for them. It's gonna be a better experience for them for first purchase, but then also behind the scenes, you're piping everything over to either a CDP or Klaviyo or a Shopify profile, or like somehow you're saving that information so that later you can market to those customers as well.
Absolutely, yeah. Having that full kind of 360 view of the customer, understanding who they are, where they might be, products they like to shop for, makes all the difference in to your point, initiating that first purchase, but then keeping them around for a long time thereafter, and establishing that kind of loyalty with your brand. Those are all the questions that I had for Bryant around how he manages support and how he interacts with his customers. But if we have time, we could open it up for a couple of questions if anybody has any.
So I'm intrigued with your affiliate setup for your CS. Brilliant. One, what do you use to measure that across? Is it like another app that exists within Shopify ecosystem? And then also, what's the range of percentage that you pay out? And is this a team that's stateside, or is this an offshore team?
Great questions. BuddyLove uses a platform called Endear, which they had before me, and I'm not that familiar with the platform, to be honest, so I can't really speak to that, but it's working for us, and they can track sales. We give 2% on anything that is trackable upsell from that session. And sorry, what was the third question? Our team is stateside in-house. We're based out of Dallas, Texas, so everyone works in headquarters there.
Just another follow-up conversation. You said that typically CX is seen as a cost center. This is an opportunity to measure revenue upside. So have you switched to measuring CX in terms of revenue, or is it still a cost center? Like, is it paying for itself?
Not yet. BuddyLove is a smaller brand. We did 14 million last year, where the other companies that have come from have been close to 9 figures. So at BuddyLove, it's not paying for itself yet. But I think we're measuring response time and our star ratings and like whether or not we can reduce return rates and everything like everybody else. But I think the goal is to build a scalable structure that essentially can pay for itself. My favorite brands are brands where CX reports up to the marketing org and they get integrated into marketing programs and activation schedules. I'll use Valentine's Day as an example because it's February. We're doing a Valentine's sale right now, and a lot of these social questions that we're getting in our organic channels are based around Valentine's Day outfits, looks, and dresses. So if the customer service team is engaging in our community on the organic side, making recommendations and interacting with the way that's driving sales, then they become more profitable on a per employee basis than a normal CX team. I think because of what's happening with AI anyway, most of the where's my order or can I apply this code to my cart are just binary questions that are going to be replaced, which either that's going to replace CX functions in-house or CX has to transform into something that's more like CDP based or affiliate based or marketing, probably with a mix of a few in-house people and then outsource the rest for scale. But that's how we're approaching it.
Yeah, and I'll add to that last point as well too. When you put automations and utilize AI in the right places to be able to maybe not have to very manually handle those super repetitive questions that you were talking about, where's my order, what's my status, when's it gonna arrive, that opens you up for so much more opportunity to focus on the things that Bryant is focusing on to drive sales out of the CX function, right? To focus on the interactions with customers that might be a little bit more complex, where you might have opportunities to upsell them or provide them with a suggestion that they didn't know they needed, and that's where you're going to see a lot of the results on the sales and revenue side from customer support.
Sure. Any other questions? All right. Well, thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.